The corruption case against former President Jacob Zuma has been postponed. That's due to Zuma's ill health. He's reportedly still in hospital. Senior reporter Siphamandla Goge has been following that story, and he is joining us now this hour. Good afternoon, Siphamandla. Well, as expected, the case has been postponed due to the former president's ill health. No surprises there.
Indeed, especially since all parties agreed that the matter will be postponed. There is really nothing much they can do without the presence of former President Jacob Zuma, who is accused #1 in this matter, together with his co-accused, that is French arms company manufacturer Thales. So the former president is still in hospital. We understand that he has not been discharged just yet. So things will move once the former president is ready to come to court here. So the matter has been postponed to the 21st and 22nd of September. I think it's just more than a week from today, really. It's not a long adjournment or postponement. It's a matter of just under or less than 2 weeks. So after that, we would know whether the former president is able to attend to these court proceedings. So today was meant initially to be the start of that hearing when it comes to his plea. Remember that he wants the lead state prosecutor, that is Billy Downer, to recuse himself. He has argued and alleged that Billy Downer is conflicted in this matter, that Billy Downer has an axe to grind against him. He is biased. He wants to see him convicted at all costs. It's something that the state has really disputed, saying, well, there is no basis and there is no substance to that allegation. It's been made before, it's been dismissed. So today we were meant to get underway with that aspect of the hearing, but of course it couldn't proceed because the former president was unable to attend. He has been granted a medical parole, even though that is subject of too much debate and intense scrutiny. But the bottom line is that he's still in hospital. Yes, those who are treating him, they have submitted a medical report to the court, and today there was a brief discussion about that point. But perhaps let's take a listen to what Judge Bidkun had to say, giving an order of proceedings and what will happen moving forward up until or since the time that we're expected to get underway today and throwing forward to the next court appearance. Let's take a listen.
The order I grant is as follows. 1, the matter is adjourned in the absence of the first accused and the representative of the second accused to 1000 hours on the 21st and 22nd of September 2021 in open court in Pietermaritzburg for 1.1, the first accused special plea in terms of section 106(1)(h) and 4 to be heard. 1.2, if the first accused applies for a further postponement, his application for a further postponement to be heard, which will include the necessary evidence on both sides being led. Paragraph 2, in respect of the application for leave to supplement, it is directed that 2.1, the state shall deliver its answering affidavit on or before 16 September 2021. 2.2, the first accused shall deliver his replying affidavit, if any, on or before 1300 hours on the 20th of September 2021.
Okay, now the issue of the former president's ill health is also, is at the center of this postponement. And there was that order earlier that the NPA could have its own doctors as well to check him and see. But in the meantime, there has been that medical report issued by his doctors. So what was discussed around that in court? What came out around that, Siphamandla?
Very briefly, we had Advocate Dalimpofu telling the court and Judge Bidkun that, well, it appears that the medical teams are finding each other, if I were to quote him. That simply means that the team which is treating former President Jacob Zuma, together with the team that was meant to be appointed and assigned by the prosecutions to examine the medical report of the former president, if needs be, to do its own assessment, it appears as if they are finding each other. There has been some mistrust when it comes to this issue, with the Jacob Zuma Foundation arguing strongly that there is no need for a team which will be appointed by prosecutions to examine the former president, because that creates an impression that they do not trust those who are from the military health services that are looking after the former president. But this whole setup and arrangement was part of the deal that was agreed to by all parties when we were here last time, including defense lawyers of former President Jacob Zuma. They did not object to a proposal of having a prosecution-led medical team examining that medical report of the former president. So today, Advocate Dalimpofu did say it appears that both medical teams are finding each other here. As to what will happen moving forward, it remains to be seen. But according to him, it appears that there is some progress. Let's take a listen to him.
There's an indication which was made to you that the medical teams are finding each other or getting close to each other. Then we're left with the same three options, namely, if they agree, well, then that's the end of it. If they don't, then there'll be viva voce evidence. But if the health situation improves on Mr. Zuma's side, then the 2 days will be used for the 106, which is exactly what we had agreed on the 10th of August. So we're in the same place, except that there seems to be some progress with the medical teams.
Well, I'm sure that will be bringing a lot of relief to everybody who's following this trial with interest that the medical teams are finding each other. Looks like the things went on smoothly. Then, of course, in about 2 weeks or so, the matter will be back in court. But the big question, of course, Siphamandla, as we conclude, remains whether or not the former president, Jacob Zuma, will be able or not to attend the trial.
Indeed, and I think that's the gist of it really. Without him, there could be no progress. So when we come back here in less than 2 weeks, it remains to be seen whether he would have been discharged and whether he'll be able to come here. Remember, he is the one who has been asking for an open court, to be physically present in court, so that if needs be, he may decide to give oral evidence when it comes to his application to have Advocate Billy Downer recusing himself. But now that he is unwell, of course, he needs to be afforded space and time to heal and be able to come back to court and proceed with that application.
Thank you very much, Siphamandla Goge in Peter Marisbeck in KwaZulu-Natal. Now.